Libya. Muammar al-Gaddafi, leader of Libya, allegedly has a fear of flying over water, and he no longer relies on his all-female bodyguard force, only taking one to the UN during 2010. He is accompanied everywhere by a Ukrainian nurse with whom some claim he is romantically linked. When her visa was not approved in time for Gaddafi's trip to the UN, he had her privately flown to him afterward. North Korea. Kim Jong-il, leader of North Korea, was portrayed to diplomats by a source as a flabby old chap and someone who had suffered physical and psychological trauma as a result of his stroke. Chinese diplomats consider Kim irascible and unpredictable, mentioning that they do not like North Korea but they are a neighbor. Kim has a reputation among Chinese diplomats as being quite a good drinker. Pakistan. Asif Ali Zardari, president of Pakistan, was called dirty but not dangerous by Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed, in contrast to former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, who is described as dangerous but not dirty. This is Pakistan. People's Republic of China. Hu Jintao, the Chinese president, was described by the Japanese Prime Minister Taro Aso as confident but relaxed during their meeting. This was in contrast to Premier Wen Jiabao, who was very tired and seemed under a lot of pressure attributed to the financial crisis. Vladimir Putin, the Russian Prime Minister, wields less power than his alpha dog image in the media portrays. He is alleged to bribe Kremlin figures, or else many of his edicts are not implemented. American diplomats have raised concerns over personal corruption, calling Putin's Russia a mafian state. The Swiss oil trading company Gunvor is rumored to be one of Putin's sources of undisclosed wealth, allegedly bringing its owners billions of dollars in profit. Diplomats have also discussed Putin's very close relationship with the Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi, and that the pair enjoyed such a close relationship that they shared a direct line. It is suspected that Berlusconi's personal relationship with Putin influenced the sale of part of Russian state-owned Gazprom's oil subsidiary Gazprom Neft to Italian Eni. Saudi Arabia. King Abdullah was stated by diplomats as tending to express himself tersely because of his lifelong struggle with a speech impediment, but added that he is a very wry and forthright interlocutor. Turkey. Tayyip Erdogan, Turkish Prime Minister, was described by U.S. diplomats as having little understanding of politics beyond Ankara, and as surrounding himself with an iron ring of sycophantic but contemptuous advisors. He is said to be isolated and that his MPs and ministers feel fearful of Erdogan's wrath. Diplomats state that he relies on his charisma, interest, and the filtering of advisors who pull conspiracy theories off the web or are lost in neo-Ottoman Islamist fantasies. He was also described as a perfectionist workaholic who dominates his party. Erdogan responded strongly to his claims, threatening a lawsuit. He rejects the allegations of having 8 secret accounts in Swiss banks, stating that people responsible for the slander will be crushed under these claims and will be finished and will disappear. Turkmenistan. Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, president of Turkmenistan, was described as a vain, fastidious, vindictive, a micromanager, and a bit of an Ahal-Taki nationalist. The American diplomat also commented that Berdimuhamedov has a Russian mistress. Zimbabwe. Robert Mugabe, president of Zimbabwe, was described as the devil. The cable said that Mugabe was cleverer and more ruthless than any other Zimbabwean politician. Morgan Tsvangirai, Prime Minister of Zimbabwe, was described as flawed, indecisive, and lacking executive experience. So, I might be weird in believing that none of this really is a problem, but please, I invite all criticism. I just hope no one takes this down, and I hope no authorities come to my door just because I'm expressing my freedom of speech. Thank you. Good night.